Meanwhile, viewers, just to give you a recap, in a landmark ruling from Dhaka today, former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was sentenced to death by the National Special International Crimes Tribunal. The court found the former leader guilty of crimes against humanity stemming from her alleged role in the deadly July Revolution student uprising in 2024. The crackdown, remember, led to her resignation and eventual flight from the country. The tribunal's ruling states Hasina was convicted for incitement, ordering the killings and failing to prevent atrocities against civilian protesters. Her former Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal was also sentenced to death. Both were tried and convicted in absentia. Sheikh Hasina is currently living in exile in India. The current interim government, led by Professor Mohammad Yunus, has officially submitted an urgent request to the Indian government demanding the extradition of both Sheikh Hasina and her former minister to face their sentences in Bangladesh. Hasina was ousted after more than 15 years in power, has condemned the verdict as politically motivated and a product of a rigged court. Security remains extremely tight across Dhaka amidst fears of political unrest following this high-profile judgment. Joining me on the broadcast, Ambassador Bhaswati Mukherjee, former diplomat, Dr. Swati Jindal Garg, AOR of the Supreme Court, Pathikrit with us as well, Joyita Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian. Let me begin with Ambassador Mukherjee. Ambassador Mukherjee, same question to you, ma'am. I have to understand from you, this was an expected verdict. We didn't expect Sheikh Hasina to get a fair trial in Bangladesh, obviously. But now what, ma'am? What next?
Well, it's very simple. The verdict of a kangaroo court does not in any way influence the outcome of an extradition treaty. This was a kangaroo court. Secondly, the regime of Mohammad Yunus is illegal because in the Bangladesh constitution, there is no provision to have such an arrangement beyond a period of 6 months, which he has more than exceeded. Thirdly, as Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani pointed out very correctly, she was represented by a lawyer that she did not recognize. Fourthly, crimes against humanity are not decided in this rushed manner. It is the International Criminal Court which decides crimes against humanity. Bangladesh is not a state party to the International Criminal Court. No system of appeal has been allowed in this verdict, and it has been rushed through when everyone is aware that in Bangladesh, even simple cases take 1 or 2 years to be completed. In other words, it's a kangaroo court whose verdict was expected. It does not change anything as far as India is concerned. Sheikh Hasina is our guest in India. The extradition treaty does not at all apply in this case because the death penalty has been pronounced by a court set up by a regime that has no legitimacy in a process that was rushed and whose outcome was known. In other words, when they could not assassinate or murder her while she was still there because she left in time, now they seek to extradite her and possibly torture her and then put her to death. So as far as we are concerned, it changes nothing, nor does it impact India-Bangladesh relations, because this Mohammad Yunus is not going to be there for long. There is an incessant demand within Bangladesh to have free and fair elections. They have already said that the Awami League cannot participate. That is going to lead to huge protests. And in fact, they should reflect that how the father of the nation, Mujibur Rahman, when he was in Pakistani custody, was made every day to dig his own grave, little by little, little by little. This is the country which emanated from a huge genocide and murder of their freedom fighters. And now they want to put the daughter of the father of the nation through a criminal court and ask India to extradite her to face a certain and horrible death. I think that they are indeed foolish in their pronouncements. It's not going to affect us at all. And Mohammad Yunus, in any case, is not there forever. He has to face, and it has to be free and fair elections. And he is very afraid that even if he bans the Awami League, the BNP will win and not the Jamaat. And India has dealt with BNP for many
Yes.
years. It's not a problem for us to deal with BNP either. So we'll wait and see. But this changes nothing for us. We are certainly not going to agree to anything from this illegitimate and illegal regime set up by Mohammed Yunus, the so-called Nobel laureate, who, as Mr. Jethmalani rightly pointed out, is funded by Soros. Everybody knows where his money comes from. Everybody knows where his family is. Everybody knows how he is where he is. We don't have to bother either about Yunus or about the verdict as far as India is concerned. Devika.
Okay, Joyita, your thoughts on the same as well.